What if the smiling faces and fun videos you see online were hiding something much darker behind the scenes? Piper Rockelle rose to fame as a teenage YouTube sensation, but now shocking allegations have turned her story into a cautionary tale about the dangers of internet stardom. From lawsuits to a $1.85 million settlement and a bombshell Netflix documentary, this story is anything but simple. So what really happened behind the camera? And how deep does this scandal go? Teenage YouTuber Piper Rockelle became well known as a member of the rapidly expanding child influencer community. With millions of subscribers and a lively, upbeat persona, she and her mother, Tiffany Smith, appeared to be the perfect example of a modern, healthy family collaborating online. But beyond the meticulously constructed public image is a tale of alarming accusations, court cases, and a shadowy side to the kidfluencer industry. The startling realities of the exploitation, abuse, and manipulation that occurred behind the scenes of Piper's career are revealed in the Netflix documentary series Bad Influence: The Dark Side of Kidfluencing. Because of her relatable content, Piper Rockelle quickly rose to fame on YouTube after making waves there at a very young age. Her channel, which included lifestyle videos, pranks, and challenges, was quite popular and had a loyal following. The creation of The Squad, a group of youthful influencers who featured in almost all of her videos, was crucial to her success. Because of their enthusiasm, charm, and sense of humor, this trio came to represent Piper's brand. Tiffany Smith, Piper's mother, had a key part in the group's formation by managing both Piper and The Squad. In addition to managing her daughter's job, Tiffany also shaped Piper's internet persona, making sure that every video reflected the family's public persona of contentment and unity. With millions of people captivated by their supposedly ideal lives, the gang established itself as a mainstay in the YouTube community. But Piper and her mother weren't the only ones enjoying the benefits of her newfound stardom. With some of them being quite young and ill-prepared for the demands of internet celebrity, the other members of The Squad were also propelled into the spotlight. As the negative aspects of kid celebrity started to surface, the group's success would soon be exposed. The first rifts in Piper Rockelle's career's seemingly flawless exterior showed up in January 2022. In their complaint, 11 former members of The Squad accused Tiffany Smith of a variety of wrongdoings. Numerous unsettling charges were made in the case, including claims of sexual, physical, and emotional abuse, as well as infractions of child labor rules. The youngsters in the group were allegedly the targets of inappropriate behavior, harassment, and manipulation, and the lawsuit also claimed that Smith had purposefully caused them emotional pain. Among the most egregious accusations was that Smith coerced the kids in The Squad into doing things and watching movies against their will, forcing them to keep going even when they complained. According to some members, they were forced to participate in content they were uncomfortable with, overworked, and underpaid. According to the lawsuit, youngsters were continuously exploited in the name of YouTube fame, creating a poisonous atmosphere. These teenage influencers were under tremendous pressure to uphold their online reputations, which added to the emotional toll of the alleged abuse. Many members of The Squad felt alone, stressed, and vulnerable as a result of the ongoing need to provide content and the inadequate safeguards for minor influencers. Notwithstanding these mounting worries, the lawsuit exposed the industry's lack of supervision, particularly with regard to safeguarding children. Throughout 2022 and 2023, the legal dispute pertaining to the charges against Tiffany Smith and members of The Squad persisted. But the dispute didn't come to some form of resolution with a settlement until October 2024. The $1.85 million settlement was a large figure that demonstrated how serious the accusations were. Nevertheless, neither Tiffany Smith nor Piper Rockelle admitted any wrongdoing as part of the deal. Thus, the matter would continue to be unclear for all parties. One of the most controversial elements of the settlement was the absence of a formal admission of guilt. Although the victims may have found some solace in the settlement, it also raised attention to a more significant problem: the law's appallingly weak protections for minor influencers. Many families in the industry are left open to being taken advantage of by individuals in positions of authority, since there are no clear rules or regulations protecting young content creators. Tiffany Smith saw the settlement as a means of avoiding additional legal issues, but it left open concerns over the methods used by Piper Rockelle to gain notoriety. In addition to exposing potential child abuse in the influencer industry, the case sparked a wider discussion on the moral obligations of parents, managers, and platforms with regard to child influencers. The discussion over child exploitation in the digital era reached a new level with the premiere of Netflix's Bad Influence: The Dark Side of Kidfluencing. Unflinchingly, the documentary series examined the accusations made against Tiffany Smith and her leadership of the Squad. The series depicts an uncontrolled and frequently cruel profession through interviews with former group members and child exploitation specialists. The documentary series also looks into Tiffany Smith's deceptive methods for trying to manipulate and take advantage of the kids in the Squad. Former members described how Smith punished against those who voiced their disapproval of the conditions they were living in, cut them off from their family, and forced them into uncomfortable situations using threats and intimidation. Some of the kids claimed that they were made to feel bad for defying Smith's orders, which only made their emotional distress worse. The fact that Smith allegedly forced kids to watch videos that conflate inappropriate behavior with harmless content may have been the most upsetting of all. According to several former Squad members, they were frequently coerced into challenges and pranks that went beyond what was considered appropriate, which caused several of them great emotional suffering. These first-hand reports were terrifying because they showed how far Tiffany Smith went to keep up the appearance of a contented, prosperous family for the cameras. Additionally, Bad Influence addresses the wider ramifications of kid influencers in the contemporary digital era. It brings up significant issues regarding the accountability of websites like YouTube, which make huge profits off of video produced by children, but provide little in the way of control or monitoring. According to the documentary series, industry-wide changes are becoming more and more necessary to protect the health and safety of youthful content producers. Following the court cases and the publication of the documentary, Piper Rockelle has stood up for her mother and herself. The accusations against her and her mother, according to Piper, are mean, untrue, and honestly all about money. She maintains that her mother always had her best interests in mind and that she was innocent of any wrongdoing. Piper has remained active on social media and has made an effort to uphold her public persona as a carefree, approachable kid, in spite of the turmoil surrounding her profession. However, Piper's internet reputation has suffered as a result of the attention she has received. It has been challenging for Piper to maintain the same lighthearted, Squad-focused content that made her famous in light of the public outcry against her and her mother. The ongoing dispute has had an impact on her Instagram and YouTube accounts, and some of her admirers have expressed dissatisfaction with the way things have turned out. Given that many viewers are now doubting the moral standards of the influencer sector in general, the documentary's release has probably had a big effect on Piper's career. However, Piper's support of her mother implies that, in spite of the grave accusations made against her, she still has a strong bond with Tiffany. The relationship with a parent who doubles as their manager can be challenging for many young influencers, including Piper. Piper's decision to support her mother despite these alarming accusations may be explained by the fact that Tiffany Smith was not just a mother, but also the inspiration for her professional life. Numerous conversations concerning the absence of regulation and monitoring in the realm of child influencers have been triggered by the Piper Rockelle incident. The case has brought attention to the vulnerabilities that children who are thrown into the spotlight, often without the necessary protection or support, face. There aren't many protections in place to guarantee the safety of these children, even if social media sites like YouTube still profit from the content produced by young influencers. Stricter laws and restrictions have been demanded by many in an effort to shield teenage content creators from abuse and exploitation. Some have proposed enacting new laws requiring background checks on bosses and parents, as well as monitoring content for indications of abuse or manipulation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because you won't want to miss what's coming next.